My name's Suzanne Day, and I run a charity and a business for stopping domestic violence, and I'm also a healer. So today I've got information on violence in the workplace. So this information is from WorkCover in Australia. It's from the booklet that I was given about what happens in the workplace. And it was when I went to the Government Department for Domestic Violence and getting changes made for the community. And it's also information from my own experience, research, and downloads from source. And it cannot be copied, used, or stolen from me as it's copyrighted. Okay, so this can happen as an internal violence from employees who are at risk of violence from co-workers, supervisors, managers, or even other staff. The common types of violence include harassment, bullying, peer pressure, verbal or physical abuse. Violence can also come from former employees who seek revenge on your business, from managers and other staff. Violent acts include verbal abuse in person and over the phone, written abuse, harassment, threats, ganged up on, bullying, intimidation, physical or sexual assaults. Armed robbery, malicious damage to property or staff, customers, or businesses. So workplace violence may not always be a critical or extreme situation from the outset. It sometimes follows a pattern of severe escalating behaviour, from aggravation, expressed anger or frustration and intimidation, body language, to verbal, written abuse, threats, physical threats or assaults. Violence and aggression includes verbal and emotional abuse or threats, and physical attacks to an individual or to property by another individual or group. The impact of violence on victims depends on the severity of the violence and his or her own experience, skills, and personality. From external sources, there are two types here. Material gain, where offences are motivated to seek money, drugs, or valuable goods. Non-material gain, this can include sexual assault, hostage taking, incident violence to other people in the area immediately or near the workplace. Client-initiated violence. This is where clients or customers of a service, their relatives or friends, take violent or aggressive actions against the workers who are trying to help them. And a lot of this happens with teachers, enforcement officers, police officers, health and welfare workers are at risk of this source of violence. When violent acts are committed, it is usually not the only source of violence. When these clients commit violence, these acts, it is usually not a unique occurrence, but as they often have a history of violent behaviour or related problems, mental health problems. Discrimination and harassment. Unwelcome behaviours can take the form of discrimination or verbal and sexual harassment by staff, clients, customers, and the general public. All of this is appropriate and way stressful. Not all of this is accompanied by aggression or violence. Non-violent discrimination or harassment should be dealt with at the earliest opportunity, preventing it from becoming more serious and leading to violent behaviour. There are laws in place to protect workers from discrimination and harassment. Bullying. Workplace bullying is an aggressive behaviour that intimidates, humiliates, undermines a person or a group. Bullying can be defined as a repeated, less favourable treatment of a person by another or others in the workplace, which is considered unreasonable. What the heck's that? And inappropriate workplace practices. Types of bullying include yelling, screaming, abusive language, continually criticising someone, isolating or ignoring a worker, sabotaging someone's work or their ability to do their job by not providing them the vital information appropriate training or resources. Bullying results from one person or a group needing to dominate or show superiority over another person. Personal gain or gratification. Offenders may try to steal money, drugs, or valuable goods from the business or employees. Attacks may be random but are often planned. The offenders know your business, what they want. They will strike where security and violent control measures are not adequate, or offers may not be rational at the time of the offence, or may be under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. Some offenders are motivated by non-material gain. Sexual assault is an example. Sex offenders may stalk victims, play out their attacks, or they may choose victims at random in opportune circumstances. Working alone, leaving work at night, and travelling home alone can be high risk. Extreme cases of workers being overloaded and driven by their supervisors can also result in workplace violence. When people commit violent acts, it is usually not a unique occurrence. They often have a history of violent behaviour. Service delivery issues. Becoming unhappy about aspects of your business, including cost, performance of the product or service, treatment by staff, repeated delays, and incompetence. These things do not excuse violence, but they can help create situations that are contributing factors of an offender's action. Clients, customers of a service, their relatives or friends may take violent or aggressive action against the workers who are really trying to help them. They can come from when a person is seriously injured. Lots of the time, violence comes about after a number of small conflicts over time. Opportunism and coincidence. Violent acts may be committed for their own sake, often with little or no planning. Random vandalism is one example of this. Smash and grab, shoplifting offences are random, happening at the spur of the moment thing, brought about by opportunities such as no stuff in the shop or valuables being left in an accessible position. Other less common aggressive behaviours include sieges, hostages, and taking clients. Often the person is affected by drugs, alcohol, behaviour under the influence of a mind-altering substances, of the absence of a substance. Withdrawal syndrome may become violent. It is important to have strategies to help prevent these kinds of incidents, as well as having procedures to handle such violent situations when they occur. Incidental violence, such as robberies or assaults of other people in the areas immediately near the workplace, can have an impact on your staff. They may not be physically assaulted, but they may suffer trauma from seeing the event. You cannot always prevent these situations from occurring, but you need to have procedures in place to help minimise the impact they do have. So that's just a little bit of information about workplace violence. So if you like this video, you can push the like button and you can subscribe to the page. Thank you.